Let's welcome in now Pennsylvania Congressman Guy Reschenthaler, a member of the House Judiciary and Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, great to see you.
John, thanks for having me on. And as always, please just call me Guy.
Okay, I'll call you Congressman the first time. Next time we'll call you Guy. But talk to us about what's going on here. The Washington Post and Politico both reporting that the Trump team was dropping a major part of their lawsuit. But Tim Murtaugh says, no, that's not the case. Those stories were completely erroneous. And the issue here really are those 682,000 absentee and mail-in ballots. The Republican Party, Trump says those votes were counted in secret. And that's really the point of contention here. Am I right?
Yes, you are. And think about what happened here. You had the Pennsylvania Supreme Court unilaterally, by judicial fiat, extending the time period which ballots could come in from 8 p.m. on election night to 72 hours after the closing of the polls. That's really the issue. And the reason why it's an issue is because the U.S. Constitution says clearly that it's the state general assemblies that make that decision, not the courts. So you're talking about an entire group of ballots. Additionally, it's very suspect that these mail-in ballots, the poll watchers, the Republican poll watchers, were not allowed to watch these come in, or were kept at such a distance, because there's a possibility that the ballots that came in after election night were commingled, meaning they were mixed with the ballots that came in on election day or before. But the bottom line, John, to all this is that we need to make sure that every legal vote is counted, and we have to make sure that no illegal votes are counted, because the second an illegal vote is counted, the second a dead person is allowed to vote, the legal votes are by definition diluted. And that's really the heart of this case.
And Guy, to play devil's advocate, you know what so many people are saying, even if you catch all the dead people voting, you take that into account, there's still not enough here to overturn the results of the election. What do you say to those folks?
Sure, a few points. First, Al Gore fought for 30-some-odd days back in 2000. There's nothing wrong with President Trump looking to extend his legal options or exhausting his legal options for the next few weeks. It's perfectly fine and under the framework of the Constitution. Secondly, just two quick points. We have got to exhaust remedies here so we can show to the American people that the narrative that there was no fraud in this election is just not true. We have to make sure the American people know about the thousands of affidavits that are out there saying that there was fraud. That needs to be out there in the public so people know that there were actually instances of fraud. And then secondly, we've got to put the Democrat activists on notice that we know that they're engaged in these activities. That way, when they try these antics in, let's say, 2022 and 2024, they'll be on notice. So that way, they may not be able to steal elections in the future, and that Republicans would have a chance to win statewide elections in swing states like Pennsylvania.
Congressman, you're back in Washington, D.C. Congress is back in session this week. The big ticket item on everyone's mind is this COVID relief bill. Again, I kind of joke around that it could get up to $4 trillion if something isn't done now soon. But, you know, there is a lot of pressure on Nancy Pelosi now for the next Congress. Her majority has been shrunk by a lot. So give us an update on what's going to happen now with this COVID relief bill, and if you guys are going to be able to keep the price tag down.
Well, Nancy Pelosi is still trying to double down on the radical elements that were in the so-called HEROES Act. Remember, she wants to have illegal immigrants get stimulus check payments. She wants to have bailouts to the budgets of these blue states that have been mismanaged for years. She wants to have tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires living in blue states. So there's a whole bunch of just garbage that we saw in HEROES Act that Nancy Pelosi is still trying to push forward right now. There is a reasonable alternative to this where we can get help to people that need it, perhaps another round or two of the stimulus checks to individuals. We can help out particular industries. We can reinforce the EIDL loan and grants program. There is a reasonable alternative here, but Nancy Pelosi and the far left Democrats have doubled down on these positions, and those positions, ironically, are the positions that cause them to shrink their majority.
Yeah, she's got some challenges on her hand and some very upset members of her own caucus to deal with. Congressman Reschenthaler, great to see you as always. We'll call you Guy as you wish.
John.
We appreciate your time. Good luck up there.